Make no mistake about it. Most of the things that happen in laws and in a country's daily politic are dictated by money. They say the money make the world go round, okay? No, it does not. You have made money the source, some, Jaco, have made money the source of all their lives. What they have and they do not have. I mean, we look here at Ebony with when we started doing the tapes and we asked for donations, people would be so generous they would donate what they could. Now, with all of this stuff going on, I said the other day, I said, couldn't you use some of the money from the Apathy Records? Then John said, oh, Yaji, that's not even, there's nothing there. Tiffany does all of that now. But you can ask her. I spoke with Tiffany. She said, no, many have canceled the Vault membership because we don't have any new tapes to put in. So if any of you are listening, I'm going to restart doing Vault tapes. I will send them in. And I will figure out ways to make things up to everyone. But you'll have to give me time. And you'll have to understand that if you deal with Tiffany, if you deal with John, if you deal with TJ, there are many of them now. There are 3 or 4 others who are assisting them. DeVinceDelgato@gmail.com is not John anymore. He's one of them that gets emails there, but that is just like the YouTube channel of Vince Delgato. They say that, there became negativity within the group. There became people saying, well, we want to take all the tapes and make our own thing, and it was a mess. So I'm just going to come out and ask people, if what I say matters to you, if you like this stuff that I talk about, if you want to know, for me to tell you what I know, and do so in a public manner, or go back to doing it with the Vault subscriptions. Let us know, or let Apathy Records know, because that is where it will start. I can't do this by myself. Here I'm standing in the room speaking, and they run all of the equipment on the other side of the little window. But I cannot do this on myself. If you can help get this project going again financially by making a donation at 5sks.com, please do so. Whether it's small or large, please help us. Because let me explain to you why this is so important. The other way the human race can go is they can abolish these silly, archaic customs of, I don't want to say international boundaries and preach to you of a new world order, because this is something that I do not do. This is talking about something bigger. This is talking about a world where the benefit of long-term research is not shelved because they need to do something that will make that company money right now. We're talking about long-term investment in things to change the world. And to this I ask you to look at the last decade, from the year 2000 to the year 2010. Just look at what has happened to the world, the interconnectivity of the internet, the ability for people who are conscious and aware, who care, who understand that there's something more to this, who know that you can be in touch with your soul without having religion, that God is something that is the same to us all, but that we describe in different terms, so we think it is different. This world can become a better place through understanding and compassion, not through wars, not through drawing lines in the sand and saying this side is with us and this side is against us, not by forcing nations, governments to choose sides and then their people suffer. Instead, think of a world where people can go from one place to another. This is what's coming. I believe, because I think we can get away from this old nonsense. I think there are enough resources here for all of the Jaku to share, and enough opportunities to go elsewhere, to other planets if you wish. The ideas being brought forth now by some in the independent or the business community to say we want to try to mine the asteroids. You understand, of course, there are asteroid is what you call them when they're big and floating out there, I guess. But they would have enough gold, diamond, these rare earth minerals that China has such a monopoly on, to increase technology to make it so much more affordable. The technological advancements that are coming, the parts, the actual physical material that is required to create them could be made available in the long term much cheaper. By the end of this century, you will look back, if you are still here, and many of you will be, but you will look back upon this time as a time of great change, of great awakening. But if those of us who are conscious, if those of us who are aware, if those of us who give a damn, stand by and do nothing, then I guarantee you what will eventually happen is there will be a war. And this will be your World War III. This will be where all of the countries must choose one side or the other. And if it comes down to China and Russia against the United States, and you understand what I'm saying. This is going to be awful. None of these parties want this to happen. But the problem is that you have Pakistan and India, each with the big bomb aimed at each other. Okay? You have Israel, of course, with the bomb, even though you don't talk about it. You have Iran wanting one, and the Saudis will want one. So North Korea's got one, so now South Korea says we need one. Japan wants something. You've got the confusion in Venezuela with Hugo Chavez passing away. And make no mistake about it, he was the glue that held that country together. Many places around the world right now are in a state of, they don't want to be all dramatic to say hanging by a thread and use that colloquialism, but I want to say, to enunciate just how tenuous the situation in many of these areas is right now. This is something that could happen in a flash. Changes cannot be delayed. We can't wait years for the governments to sit down and negotiate. The people need to do this. The internet is a perfect way to reach out to others in other cultures and exchange ideas, to let them know that you have no animosity to them. And I can assure you, in nearly every situation, of course, there are some strange people out there, but you'll be amazed to find out how much in common they have with you. They get up, they need to go to the bathroom, they need to eat something, they go to work or to school, or they do what they need to do. They try to keep their home warm in the winter and cool in the summer, and food for them and theirs, shelter. And most dream of a better life for their children than they have had. That's what's kept this Jaku, the human race, advancing all this time, is dreaming of something better and making that your reality. And by this method of communication, which can be shut off by the powers that be here like that, you must understand the time is now. How can I assist with this, you may ask? Well, I'll tell you very clearly. I am not afraid to be honest. Furthermore, I am not afraid to say what I know. And I am more than willing to engage in direct dialogue with what you call your leaders of this planet. the government officials who rule your lives, many of them whom I know on a first-name basis. We speak often, or we did. I am willing to go to each of them again and explain what we are trying to do, just as I did before. When I went around to them before what was coming, in the solstice, in the December 21, most of them, because I had information to give to them specifically, were very accommodating to me. What can I do to assist my people in preparing? And what we would say to them is, well, if things don't go well with changing a few of these objects' trajectories and moving things a bit, then we would have to move massive amounts of people from one area of the world to the other. This could not be done with Yajweh technology. The Arcturians had these large transporter ships that could move. What they are designed to do is they are designed to bring, when a new planet is, the word the humans use, terraform, where you make an inhospitable planet more hospitable to life. These ships are used to bring in an entire slice of the ecosystem. You imagine this. Take maybe 2 square miles, I guess, 5 square kilometers maybe, of size, of going down perhaps, I don't know, probably 10 meters into the soil, scooping up. They bring everything, the atmosphere, everything comes with. It's very strange to watch happen, but it's how they begin these processes, because their population has grown. And this is why I say, you earthlings have you humans have the same potential opportunities as any other species in the galaxy. The reason why they are not being offered to you right now is because you're not asking for them. You're caught up in your own daily lives, the problem, you're throwing all of these distractions. Everyone is their lives are contingent upon their small devices that you just got a few years ago. Everything's going to make your life easier and more managed, but everyone is so busy and staring at the screens. So what I ask is, when you stare at the screens, when you talk on your Twitter things and the face of books, you express the hope that the future can be positive for the human race. That this is not the last chapter. This is just the beginning of a new book. The future ahead is whatever and I say we because I'm stuck here with you, basically, whatever we decide. We can change the world by showing them an example, in clear, constructive argument, not scream and yell, but explain. Positivity is greater than negativity. Positivity, love, is greater than negativity, hate, and malice. It's a stronger emotion. It's a truer emotion. It lasts longer. The minority, who can at times be very vocal, but at all times holds much of the power of the weaponry, has no authority other than what you, the people, give them. Make your voice heard. You must make them understand you choose peace. Now, this is not to say if your country is attacked, you do nothing. But this is a good example of this. Is a few years ago in South Korea, when they were shelled their island by the North and they restrained from retaliation. Very difficult, politically very difficult decision to make, because you don't look weak, eh? Oh, they hit you and you didn't hit back. Now, the reason is as simple as the old phrase, pick the battles. Don't fight unless you really have to. And then you fight to win. And that's why all of this is so dangerous.